Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. But last week, unfortunately, was a replay. I actually didn't end up watching because I don't even know which replay they did. But they only had two choices, unfortunately. But just due to health reasons and the smoke that was in the area, I wasn't able to join the show. So I was sad. It was kind of bummed out. I look forward to Wednesdays. I hope you guys do too. So a big shout. I just want to take a moment to send a big shout out to any of the amazing firefighters that are still working on the BC fires in our area. The smoke is just incredible. I have a lake in view, and I haven't been able to see the lake for a few weeks now and everything. So it's kind of sad and scary. But so that's why I was. Excuse me, that's why I wasn't live last week. Still dealing with it, but that's okay. We'll just move on. So, I hope everybody's having a great week. I'm just waiting for some callers to come in. Let's see. I hope you're calling. I hope you're having a great day, and that it's the middle of the week. I got a great message from my brother-in-law saying happy middle of the week in a more interesting fashion. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Let's see what card. Oh, hold on. Cards are flying out. So and I have to disappear because one of them fell on the floor. 2 seconds. See, that was long. Okay, so while I'm just waiting for a caller, I'm just going to give you guys all a weekly message. I'm sure most of you, or some of you may have felt that things were a little off the past 3 weeks. One of our biggest things, or one of the biggest impactors, is Mercury retrograde, and that just wrapped up. I believe it was on Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember the dates, but we all felt a little off kilter, had some communication issues. Things are just during Mercury retrograde. So this doesn't actually surprise me that I have the seventh chakra coming up. And I see that I have a caller, so I'm just going to finish this card, and then my computer seems to be moving a lot, so I apologize for that. I'm using a different stand. Bad idea. I'll remember that for next week. Anyways, the seventh chakra is all about our divine connection. And I feel like everybody is kind of getting back into the normal, getting back connected to their higher selves. We're feeling a little bit more like ourselves, right? But we're still feeling the after effects. Don't judge it, just let it be, and be grateful that we're clearing out anything that no longer serves us. And I love the seventh chakra, obviously, because I'm an energy worker and it's a lot of fun. So, all right, I hear that we have Jen from Phoenix on the line. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I am great, thank you. How are you doing?
I've definitely felt a lot of ripples lately.
Yes, I can understand that. Absolutely. I know there was something about, so I just saw it really quickly, but not only did we have Mercury retrograde, but we also had a solar flare storm, which always adds a little bit more surprise during our daily lives. So, always telling people, just take it as it comes. Remember, no judgment on anything. Be kind to yourself. So Jen, I do mediumship as well as you do cards. And interestingly enough, I was kind of like, well, whatever happens today again is just going to happen. But I feel like I have a male figure here coming forward. Jen, has your dad passed?
My dad? No. Nope.
Oh, interesting. I'm just going to try not to move my desk here. I have a male coming forward. Interesting. And as soon as I say that, my client's like, no, I'm like, instantly my ego goes, well, sir. So that's too funny. Interestingly enough, okay, so if it's not your dad, my other thing would be, I'm wondering if it's your dad's dad, your grandfather on your dad's side. Do you know, did he pass through the digestive issues? Because as I'm connecting with you, I'm like, my stomach is just churning.
No, he is passed. I never got to meet him, but he had other issues that he passed from.
Oh, interesting. Okay, could I be picking up on you? Are you really nervous?
I'm really tired, not nervous, but
No, that's okay. That's really interesting. I do. So sometimes if it's not like a dad like coming forward, sometimes it can also be your guides that are just stepping forward and just letting you know that they're there. But I can't get rid of my stomach nausea. Jen, I stomach issues and stuff like that. I'm like, there's got to be something going on. I would say that there's currently a lot of stress in your life right now. Would that make sense?
Yes, totally. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So every moment, right, and as I'm like talking to you too, I'm like, I'm trying to breathe. And I'm like, I actually want to tell you, Jen, you actually just have to stop for a minute and just breathe and just let things like fall into place, because you're worried about making the right decision all the time. And really, who isn't? But the thing is sometimes when we're so hung up on trying to make the right decision actually just flies by us and we kind of miss it. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
It does totally make sense. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, the other thing I want to tell you is, I keep hearing, be careful of emotional eating. And emotional eating, a lot of times we think of emotional eating as like, or when we're like needing comfort, but for you, I feel like emotional eating is more when it's stress. Like it's kind of like, and emotional eating can also be not really thinking about what we're eating or really what we're putting in our mouth or tasting it, because you're just so on the go. You're not actually connecting to even what you're nourishing your body with. Does that make sense?
It does. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sometimes when we do that, and I totally get it because I do it all the time, and I'm a big emotional eater when I'm sad. I'm like, oh, where's the ice cream? Where's the chocolate? So I totally get it. But it's really important. And, in this day and age, too, it's really hard because we're always watching TV or we're playing on our phones and we're not really connecting with our food. And I think that's actually a really sad thing energetically, because we need to allow our body to absorb things, because you're also feeling really weak at this time. Would that be right?
Yeah, I think, all of it ties in together because I've just had like major life transition stuff going on. So it's more like I logically know all those things, but life is so insane that I can't connect in with those things, if that makes sense. And there's so much adrenaline going.
Okay, and that's why I was like shaking and my stomach was all out of place, because that's the adrenaline. Okay, totally makes sense to me. Now I totally get it, because when our lives are upside down, it's like, no, I can't slow down, and everything you say, like, and I think that's the one thing that I notice a lot when I do readings for people, is that it's generally things that you already know, but people like need that kick in the pants, and like your guides are going to tell you things that you already know. There's not always that really big, massive shift where you're like, that's what the problem is. Spirit's like, no, you know what you need to know, but you just have to you have to practice, because your ego is what's telling you, no, you don't have to, you'll be fine. And interestingly enough, as I'm saying that, 2 cards flew out for you, and I usually only do one, but I'm going to give you both. The first one was Healer of the Ages. I'm sorry, I can tell that the glare is really bad on this, so I hope you can see it a little bit better. So that's Healer of the Ages. Now, Healer of the Ages is very much about understanding that it's going to, when we get sick, a lot of the times, once we feel just a little bit better, we start doing too much, and we're not actually giving our bodies the time to heal. And that can be energetically and emotionally and mentally as well. You need to understand that even though life is chaotic, and I know that I can just feel the cringe coming, but even though it's chaotic, it's still really important to take those 5 minutes a day. I'm going to take this 5 minutes and I'm going to focus within, and nothing else around me is going to bother me. And it's interesting because as I say this, I keep hearing I keep hearing that there's something going on with your career as well. Is your career just all of a sudden gone up in the air as well, Jen?
The career, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, I've never really had a career, which sounds kind of weird, but I'm trying to, I kind of am forced to, with my life situation, I have to launch into the world now. Okay. And I've gone to school for something recently and those kind of things. And so that's a big thing. It's almost like it's a deep-rooted issue because of its survival as well as trying to launch a career, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. But here's the good news, and I absolutely love this card for you, especially when I was, it is a woman holding, have it upside down, but that's how it presented itself. Now, some people, they view upside down cards as the opposite of. I view it either as the opposite of or pay special attention to the message. And what I love about this card is, to me, this is about you understanding that no matter what you put your no matter what you put your attention into, you can make it successful, but you just have to believe it's possible. But here's the thing, even though it's really scary, because I feel like for one of the first times you've been really pushed into taking control of your own life and not having to rely on anybody else. Is that right?
That's totally correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that to me is why it's the woman holding a coin. So you've got your destiny, you've got your financial stuff in your own hands, you've got your health in your own hands. But you have to remember, first of all, and as I'm saying that you have I hear, pick up the Healer of the Ages card. So I'm picking it up to remind you that you're not going through this alone, and you're not going to get through this without healing not only your emotional state, but your mental state and your belief system. So what that means is you have to stop looking at it as, what if I fail? What if I fail? Or what if I can't do this? Because even though you've had support with you for X amount of years, I keep wanting to say 15 years. Is there something special about 15 years? Like, was there major, were you pretty set in your life and then 15 years later, it's all kind of just like upheaval?
Yeah, that would be right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And that's okay, because the universe is basically telling you, hey, for those 15 years, you had it great and we're super happy for you. But believe it or not, you've outgrown that. So understanding that you've outgrown it means that something bigger is coming forward, right? It's not that you just outgrown that situation. So that's why the universe is going, the healing needs to happen, and you have to recognize that, even though it's like, but I don't want to deal with that healing because it hurts, it's painful. It's just part of the process. And then it's also healing your belief system in the fact that anytime you're like, I don't think I can do this, or I don't, what's going to happen. It's about trusting, because you trusted a partner before. Now it's about trusting the universe as your partner, and understanding that the woman holding the coin is the one saying, you've got this, because I'm a strong woman. Jen, you're a strong woman. That needs to be your mantra. I'm a strong woman, I've got this, and I don't really need anybody. It's nice to have somebody in our life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need them in your life. The other thing I keep wanting to tell you is, don't skimp out on things that you love. I keep wanting, like, were you looking at a pair of shoes just recently and being like, oh, I would love those, but you decided not to?
No, not that I can recall.
Like, you should go buy those pair of shoes. And sometimes it's not actually shoes, but it's like that thing that we love, or that we feel like is kind of like a splurge, but it's not really a splurge when it kind of boosts our morale. Now, that's not to say that you get to use shopping as a therapy, but you have to
right.
Yeah, you have to do things that still make you feel good, rather than going, I can't do that because I can't afford it. Don't do that, because money, I think one of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves is that money is hard to get. If you say, money is a never-ending resource and it flows freely to me, which, by the way, I got from Amanda Francis, who's an amazing lady. I've watched her for a while now, and she says that constantly, and it's actually an amazing way to change your vibration when it comes to money. Just being like, money is a never-ending resource and it flows to me naturally. It really does. And believe it or not, it really does work, because I used to think about that. I was like, what a bunch of BS, even as an energy worker. But and it really works. Like, when you start believing it and trusting that you've got this, you really do. And I think, the other thing I tell people is that we have two cups. We have a cup that we pour our fear into, and we can go, I'm not going to be able to do this. This isn't going to work for me. I'm going to fail. Or we get to pour our energy into the positive cup when we're like, I've got this. I'm going to be successful at it. The universe never puts something in front of me that I am not prepared for. I am well loved and well taken care of. But most of us are trained to follow the ego and the fear. Start pouring your energy into the positive and trusting that. And even when your ego goes, Jen, you're just telling yourself that because that's what you want to hear. Be like, damn straight, that's what I want to hear, and that's what's going to happen. Does that make sense?
It does. It totally does. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me at all, Jen?
I think the only, my only other thing that I keep getting stuck on is just, like that, wondering that if I'll ever find love again. I kind of gave my life away to, so I don't know.
No, it's a beautiful question and a great question and a question that took courage to answer, or to ask. So thank you. The very first step in finding love is loving yourself as you are and not being judgmental about yourself. So that to me, so as much as I want to be like, yeah, you'll find love in 6 months. Honestly, I don't have an answer because right now you have to work on yourself and loving yourself, faults and all. Because if you don't have that love for yourself, there'll just be that paranoia that you're going to bring someone into your life that doesn't deserve you. And because that's what you're putting out there, that's what you'll get. So love yourself first, and even decide who you want in your life and what you want out of a relationship before that for fruition for yourself, okay?
Yes, that makes total sense. I know that one too. That's I just have to listen to these things.
No, and that's great, and sometimes we're like, well, I know that, but then our ego goes, but that doesn't really apply to you. Whereas your guides are going, yes, it does, and here's your direct message from us, right? So it's
right.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You are so welcome, Jen. Thank you so much for calling in, and have yourself an amazing evening.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye. All right. So now we have Lori, and I believe she is from Mims, Florida, which is really cool. Hi, Lori.
Hi, how are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you doing?
Great.
Oh, that's in Florida right now?
Yes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. How's your week been so far?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, no, that's okay. How has your week been so far in Florida?
Oh, good. Rainy. Rains when it's sunny, and just keeps raining.
Oh, man, I wish some of that rain would come here. We desperately need it, but that's okay. I'm glad somewhere in the universe or in the world's getting some rain, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Lori, I'm just shuffling some cards here for you to give you some intuitive advice and see what's going on with you. Lori, it's interesting because I keep wanting to say that you're usually someone that keeps their opinions to themselves. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. So to me, that's why I'm like, I feel like there's a little bit of a lump in my throat. I pay attention to anything that happens during reading, and that's a really good indication that some truth needs to be said. And I think, as scary as it is to talk our truth, it's really important because for you, not speaking your truth has actually affected your physical health. Like, I feel like anytime you're having a discussion with someone, you get really tense and really nervous. Would that be right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And that's okay. It's not a a knock on you. It's not saying that you're doing a bad job. It's just an area of your life that the universe is going, hey, let's talk about this for a second, because this is what you need to hear today. And my cards just went flying, so 2 seconds. I have actually one popped up for you, but I just have to go get the other two. I'm sorry, I have to disappear in here. Okay, there we go. So I have another. So the very first one that popped out is the Rest and Rejuvenation card, and I hope you can see that. I'm really sad to see that the reflection here isn't so good. I'm going to have to try to work on that. But Rest and Rejuvenation, it's interesting because I also feel like there's a lot of health things going on for you right now. Is that correct?
health issues?
Yeah.
Did you
Are
say?
you feeling like? Are you feeling really worn down and just really like lacking energy right now?
Yes, well, I'm tired all the time, but they did say that I have that fibromyalgia, so that kind of makes you tired. Depletes your vitamin D all the time.
Yes, I totally understand that. I've been diagnosed with that as well. I totally get that. And to me, that makes sense why it's the rest and rejuvenation card that comes up, because you really need to come to terms with the fact that you're not a lazy person. And you keep telling yourself, well, I'm just being lazy, or I should be doing this, and I can't, I don't understand why I can't. But you have to understand, you have to come to terms that there are certain things that just make it really hard for people to do so-called normal activities. But you have to figure out what your new normal is, dealing with fibromyalgia or whatever else is going on. The other thing I would tell you is to really look at what foods really how foods affect you, and what
Right.
foods really get you that energy and really push you forward. But it's interesting, Lori, because as I sit here too, I keep wanting to say your value as a person is not diminished because your energy levels have gone way down. Do you understand?
Right.
Do you struggle with that? But you can't do?
Right.
Okay. So that to me is why this next card comes up. And again, I hope you can see it okay. And it's the appreciation card. Oh, I better put it down a little bit. It's an appreciation card, and it's understanding that you still have value. You still deserve appreciation for what you are able to do in life. Right? That doesn't mean that you just get to sit and not do anything, but you have to understand that you will have days like that where you just need to put your feet up and literally give yourself that time and love, even when you want to beat yourself up because you're like, I should be able to do this more, I should be able to fold those clothes. But sometimes those clothes become an unsurmountable mountain that you can't even think about climbing, just simply for the fact that you don't have the energy. And you really need to be okay with that. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the other thing I want to talk to you about is, do you have a love for reading? I keep seeing books.
Well, when I have time, it doesn't seem that I have much time, but I do like to read books.
Okay. And I think it's about making time to do that. And I know that, it's like, well, there's so much to do. But for you, Lori, even if you do a task and then for 5 to 10 minutes you sit and just read, that'll help mitigate the exhaustion that you feel. And just like it'll give you that break. And I think a lot of the times we think about breaks or giving us that downtime as a waste of time, but it's a way to recharge our batteries. Nobody really gets mad at nobody really gets mad at their phone when you have to plug your phone and charge it. But us as humans, if we're not, constantly the Energizer Bunny, we get mad at ourselves. So we're worth more than a phone. So you need to be able to take those times and take those moments and understand that that's what you need. And if anybody says anything to you about it or makes you feel bad, you can simply go, if I take these 5 to 10 minute breaks in between each task, I'm actually able to get 6 to 7 tasks done in a day versus 2 tasks in a day.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Lori, I'm going to be honest with you. I am a little tired and I feel bad, but I do and I'm scared because the last one I was like, is your dad passed? And it wasn't, but I feel a female energy around you, and I keep wondering, Mom, is your mom passed?
Yes, she has passed, and actually this past Monday, it has been 20 years.
Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, I'm so glad I said something, because really I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself again if I'm wrong, but you know what? Your mom is, She is definitely strong with you, and I keep wanting to say she was a very pretty lady. Like I keep
Yes.
seeing her just very, very beautiful. She had very pretty lips, and she goes like this, like she puts her hand over her face, and that's my sign for looks like. You must really look like your mom, but I feel like your hair is darker. Is that right?
Yeah, well, yes, well, but she used to dye her hair blonde, so I think it was my regular color, but you know, to her it was always blonde.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So that's
Actually,
something, like,
growing up, I really thought my mom's hair was always blonde because that's all I ever seen.
I love it. So what I always tell your loved ones to do is I want them to tell me something that I can't. But there's a lot of things that you can just kind of sway over, like gloss over. But your mom was really specific. I was like, tell me something that your daughter would know about you that I shouldn't. And she's like, my hair is lighter than hers. That's the first thing she said.
Yeah.
She comments. I hope this is right too. She keeps saying that she had a little bit of a larger nose than she liked. It wasn't like massive, but she's like, I have a little bit of a bigger nose too. Would that be right for her?
You know, I don't know. She always looked just fine to me. She always had a certain way about her looks. She always wanted to be perfect looking no matter what.
Okay.
I mean, even when she was pregnant, she wouldn't even eat hardly any food because she didn't want to gain any weight.
Okay. So I think she's more like when she's
was
talking
always worried
about
her looks.
Yeah, I think when it's just a reflection of the fact that she was just really hard on how she looked and stuff. And that's just another way to determine that it's actually her. She had really beautiful, she had green eyes.
No, brown.
Oh, are they brown?
I kind of got
just
green eyes, though. They're like, they turn blue and green sometimes.
Okay, so it's you that's got the green eyes. They're very beautiful. You've got very beautiful eyes, and she just loves that. Unfortunately, Lori, I see that we're running out of time, but I just want to let you, she's like, I love you so much. And she says she loves the fact that you still talk to her. She's like, that is the best gift that you've given me, is that you keep me alive in your daily moments. So when you're having that hard time to just rest and take time to heal yourself, she's like, take those moments to talk to me and we'll have a great relationship, but just differently on this side. Does that make sense?